I think typically what I'll tell people is to set a time limit and narrow it down to 2. And then when you've narrowed it down to your 2, whatever decision you're trying to make, you bring your person in and then you let them help you. But you also set a time limit and you have the person who is helping you set that time limit with you. So in 15 minutes, I'm going to decide between these 2 bookshelves, can you come and check on me in 15 minutes and help me narrow it down from there? And then these are the 2 I've gone with. What do you think? I go with A. Okay. And that's what we're doing. And if it goes to shit, because part of that too is like when you're anxious, when you're neurodivergent, when you've had trauma, your worry about letting people down is so high that you're not making decisions because you're worried that people will be disappointed in you or people will think you're dumb or you're a piece of shit or whatever. And if I buy this bookshelf and then the 5th shelf falls off, I'm the reason that happened, right? But if I've got somebody in this boat with me, then it's like if that bookshelf goes to shit, we're in this together. Yeah. You're then also part of it. Yeah, mine. Exactly. Yeah, and you can be like, remember, you picked that. Yeah, it's your fault. You made me choose it. Yeah, you made me pick that one. Should have picked that one. So I think it helps. And again, right, this is like finding your tribe again, and just like having somebody else to kind of buffer you. It's the same thing like with kids who have really bad ADHD and needing what they call an anchor to help them study. You're not in the room to have a conversation with them. You're not in the room at all other than just to be right here to remind me of what it is I'm supposed to be doing, which is studying. And when kids do that and they have their person and they're doing their stuff and they start to drift, as they will, and they're like, hey, did you know that, opossums can't get rabies because their blood is too cold? And you're like, that's great. Let's get back to on this. And then they'll go back because you're their anchor, right? So you're not there to have a conversation. You're just there. And that's super helpful for kids to just have somebody or anybody with ADHD to just have what we call an anchor. And I think for anybody who struggles with like overthinking or any type of neurodivergency, having an anchor is really beneficial because it just kind of helps you to stay exactly where you need to be. So you narrow it down to 2 things. And it's the same thing when like people are like, oh, I have, task paralysis and I have 6,000 things I need to do today. Okay, just pick 2. And I don't mean the 2 most important. I just mean 2. Just pick 2. And then when you get done with those, let me know. And if you haven't finished it in an hour, I'm going to come and check on you. And so it's just giving some autonomy, but also some accountability. Right. And so then you come back and you're like, hey, how'd those 2 go? Good, I got them done. Okay, cool. Pick 2 more. And then tell me what those are. Okay, I'll be back in an hour. Right? Because again, it's like I have the autonomy to do this. I picked my 2, and now this person's going to just anchor me to making sure I get that done.
Yeah. My husband is very ADHD. Like, and like anything, right? There are times when he's like fucking on it and like hyper focusing, gets a shit ton. And then there's times where I'm like, babe, put that on the grocery list. And he's like, yep.
And you're like, nope. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And like 5 minutes later, I'm like, did you put that on the grocery list? And he's like, put what? Like, I love you so much.
Yeah. We have to do this a lot with Osiris as I'm like, hey, can you, and I do it like, it's better too when you do it softly, when you speak softly, because people tune in a different part of their brain. And so I'll be like, hey, what you doing? And he's like, what? And the minute he makes eye contact, I'm like, hey, look right here. Yeah, we're good. I need you to go get your shoes. You can do that for me real quick? And then he'll go get his shoes and he'll sit down and I'm like, and I'll wait and he'll put them on and I'm like, hey, what you doing? And then he'll look at me and I'm like, I need you to go get your jacket, right? Because like the minute you've made that eye contact, it's like, yeah, we're in this together, right? Like we're in this moment. We're going to have this conversation.
Also have 3 seconds before you look
and before
else.
You drift way the fuck off. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's part of it too, is like catching, because, you have to think about most neurodivergents, they have more receptors, right? So they're hearing more things, they're feeling more things, like everything is on overdrive. And same thing with overthinkers, right? Because that typically comes from a place of trauma or anxiety, which causes you to be on this overdrive. And so if you can kind of like just bring it in for a split second, and that's all you got. But this is also why, like people with ADHD, it's one task at a time. And the more you give them on top of that, it's too much. And like, fuck this, I'm done. So it's like, can you do this? And let me know when you're done. And then you give them the next, which is why I always tell parents, especially when you have kids, like, you're going to need to plan another 30 minutes to get out the fucking door, or else you're going to be a dick and now your kids stress the fuck out. And I get it. Like there has to be some accountability also as kids get older, because not every job, not every human is going to be that adaptable. But when they're little and they're growing and they're learning, where do you sit with this of like, hey, I need you to do this and then do this and do that, right? But it's also a good place for people who own businesses and who have employees to check in with that of like, what kind of employee do I have? And if they're just a one task person, and then you got to wait till the next, right? And you have to think about too, men versus women, where men typically, naturally, whether they're neurodivergent or not, they go from this task, and once it's complete, then they'll think about the next task, but not before. So it's like, I need you to hang this up, and then I need you to do this. But women, we're this direction, and so it's like, I got to pick up the kids, get groceries, get this fixed, do this, do this, do this, do this. So it's multiples all on top of each other. So if you have a gentleman in your life who is also neurodivergent, this process is going to be even slower of like, do this, and then this, and then this. And that's real hard sometimes. But it's patience. Patience. Fucking the worst. No, it's not. It's not the worst. It takes practice.
Yeah, I think being in a relationship, or not even just like a romantic relationship, but as we all know, I am surrounded by neurodivergence. And so I tend to be very, what's the word? Like I pick up on it, or like I'm sensitive to those things. Like I know like, oh, okay, this is not how this person learns. You can't do it this way. You can't drive that person. But like for my staff, I will only hire people if they have taken something called the DISC. It's from Tony Robbins. Yeah. And it shows, I mean, it's like a bazillion page report, but there's a couple of things.
He's actually not the one that created it, just so you know.
Okay, neurodivergent.
Just telling you so you know.
All right.
He implements it, but he did not create it.
Who created it?
It's the guy who wrote the book, I'm Surrounded by Idiots. I have to look, but he's the one that put it together and then taught people how to use it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, now I have to look that up.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Surrounded by Idiots. Yeah.
Well, there's, it's super beneficial for, at least for me, because it talks, I wish I could just pull one
My
up.
mom is actually certified to
disc it up?
Yeah, to disc people.
Interesting.
Yeah, she just got it. So if you want her to disc your people.
Well, I mean, all my people are disced.
Okay. Well,
And
new people.
All of them.
Are you red? Or are you the...
I'm high I and high D.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means high I is very like talkative, fast paced, very like personable, and D is dominant. D is for dominance. I swing, there's like an adapted and a natural. So natural is like in a natural setting, whether you're like home with your family or whatever, and then adaptive or adapted, whatever, is like school or professional.
Yeah.
And essentially if you have like a 20% or higher swing, so like that's like the masking. So people that naturally are very like quiet and calm and like kind of reserved, if they swing into like a high I, like 20% over like your kind of middle mark, they can only keep it up for so long before it burns them out and it exhausts them. And so that's one of the biggest things that I look for based on the position that I'm hiring for is I want like... all of my nurses are high I's, very talkative, very fast pace. And then I'm okay with like a little bit of a D, like a higher D, like for your dominant. But then there's like C, you find like a ton of questions, and S is lots of structure. Right. And, I have found that to be incredibly helpful for like finding out what drives them, how they learn, because it'll tell you like with Jessica, these are like the do's of like giving tasks, delegating tasks, and these are the don'ts. So like for somebody who is like a high S and a high C, they have lots of questions, they need lots of structure, and otherwise they just they literally can't function, and you're setting them up for failure. Yeah. And so I kind of, my nurse, I gave him the option when we were much smaller last year. I was like, hey, okay, we need a front desk person, an admin person. And, like, let's start looking. And then just so happened, the girl that I ended up hiring, she just like walked in, like literally like the next day. And he's like, hey, this girl brought her resume in. She's really nice. She's very sweet, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, we'll have her take the disc. And he was like, I really like her. I think she'll be really good. I'm like, great. Have her take the disc. And she took the disc, and I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, she needs a lot of structure. She asks a lot of questions. She overthinks a lot. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is exactly who she is. He's like, nope, she'll be great. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it to you.
And then boom.
I'm gonna let you have it.
Right.
And we did. And she's great. We still have her. And it's been like 8 months now. But huge learning curve for him.
Yeah.
Because he is ADHD,
Right.
high I, fairly dominant, and she's fucking polar opposite, and they fight like siblings because he's like, move faster, and she's like, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
And he like can't dump all his information quick enough, and she can't absorb it quick enough for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, I told you. So I'm going to teach you how to teach other people. And it's really like stretched him.
Yeah.
He struggles a lot with it. But I think it's a great learning opportunity.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you can't only hire or only work with one specific, like one type of person. That just isn't how that is. But if you're not aware of those things and of the people that are overthinking, why can't you just get it done? Then it tends to, it causes a lot of friction where you're not really taking the time to understand that person and why they're that way. Because once you understand, for example, my EMT, Matt, he asks a ton of questions, and the way that he asks oftentimes will make you feel like he's questioning you. Like, oh, well, why don't we do it this way? And like, he really genuinely wants to know why we don't do it this way. Right. But it can be taken as he's questioning you or he thinks you're stupid or whatever. Yeah. And so I have to like warn everyone. Everyone gets like a fucking disclosure before Matt. And I'm like, yo, Matt asks a ton of questions. He doesn't mean it like that. He's loyal as fuck. He's fucking fantastic. But this is just the way that he kind of conducts himself.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever, there's a book called The Four Agreements?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Is it that one though? No. I don't think it's that one I'm thinking of. Anyways, I'll find it and I'll tell you the right name.
Will you?
I know. I'm like, gosh, see, the book starts to model in my brain. But there's one, and it talks about like the four different, like, and one of them is a why person. And they're like the person that needs to know all the things. And it's not the Four Agreements. What is it? Fuck. Ugh. It's a blue book too.
Could you overthink it?
Yeah, could I? I'm going to. I'll lay in bed like this.
I'm going to Google the blue book that has the why person in it.
Yeah, the why, you could, and it probably would tell you. But there's like one that's like this person that has to know all the things and has all the whys, and it's just that's just the type of person they are. And my mom's like that. She's a why person. She likes to know all the details and all the things. And it's so funny because like when I tell a story to her, I know I have to know like the color of the shirt of the guy on the left of me was wearing. Whereas my husband, I got to cliff note the fuck out of it because he's like, why are you taking so long to tell this? And I'm like, fuck, it's the wrong person. Hold on. But it's kind of the same thing too, where it like breaks down. There's four of them, maybe five. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll find it. Yeah, it's one of the books I fucking shoved in here.
That's funny because like the attention to detail, and it's almost like insignificant details, right? Like, so my stepdaughter was telling a story last night, and it was like a really good, like intense story. And we're talking about this thing. And then she's like, yeah, I know. And then we like went over there on like Saturday, or was it Sunday? No,
and you're like, it actually
I think it was
doesn't
Saturday.
matter.
I was like, the day doesn't matter. And she was like, no, it does to me. And like her dad says the fucking exact same thing. I'm like, I don't know. It's like 3:52. He's like, it's 3:54. I'm like, are you fucking going to be okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, if it's not like exact, then I can't like think of anything else. And like the story feels like inauthentic.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
which is also what happens too. And it makes people think you're lying. Because your attention to detail is so heavy that people think you're just like elaborating or making up a story. And I've had this like argument before, like when my husband and I very first started dating, he would ask me something and I would go into like this detail. And to him, it felt like I was just like making it up or I was lying.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm like, it just for me, for it to be an authentic story, I have to tell you like all the nitty bitty little titty bits. Yeah. It's fun for people. Yeah. And because I've grown up with a mom who very much likes to know all the things.
Right.
And will ask me, you know, the most like innate question. And I'm like, I don't know if I know the answer to that. You know, and I've gotten better about it now where I'm just like, I don't fucking know. But when I was younger, it felt like very off to be like, I don't know the answer to that. And I would like panic almost. I feel like I needed to make that part of the story up because the overthinking kicks in. Real fucking enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't wear you out at all.
No, I know. Well, and then, okay, so being on the other side where, you know,
you're listening to it.
I guess most of the successful, very quick on their feet ER nurses are not the like, I have to know why this goes here and then this goes here and why do we do that? It's like, this person's dying, fix it, like fucking make it stop. Right. And then we'll go back and figure out how we did it and then we'll chart it all.
Yeah.
And so all 3 of my nurses plus myself are all ER nurses,
Yeah.
but the rest of my staff is not. And so it's very interesting to kind of watch that, like watch us like mesh together because, we're very like fast, get it done. And we can't really tell you exactly why we did it.
Right.
But then like my fucking poor front desk girl, she's like, why did you put the blue tube here and not the purple tube? And we're like, because my hands were full and I had 3 other things I had to do, you know?
Yeah.
So, but, and to her, it matters. And to us, we're like, are you fucking kidding me? Just get it done.
Yeah.
And, so it's important. I think it's important for us as a whole to just remember that, like, obviously not everybody's brain works the same, but people that are overthinking, there's a reason that they do that. They're not trying to be annoying.
Yeah. I have to remember that a lot of times, like when I'm training.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something I've done 1,000 times.
Yeah. You're like, could you fucking
I'm
learn
like,
this
it's
faster?
just I'm like, and because I move very quickly, I talk very quickly, I just assume everybody else is that way too. And I always have to remember, like, especially when we have like interns, I'm like, I have to pull this way the fuck back and be like, and sometimes like I'll even explain it to my husband because that's not his world. And it helps for him then to tell me, yeah, no, that made no sense. Or I didn't understand like where you got from here to here. Cause then it helps me to remember like, okay, to me, it just, you go from here and you get there. Right. But when you're not in that world or you're just starting out, you have to be like, okay, let me slow it the fuck down, which is hard for me.
I know. I do that with my husband too, because he's not medical at all. And I'm like, hey, when you read this, does it make sense? And he's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jill's like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
And I'm like, all right, let me back it up. Open the door.
Yeah. And you do. You're like,
it.
ting, ting, t-t-t. And then you realize you missed like 67 things. And you're like, fuck. Yeah. And I think that's sometimes too, you know, that comes with like the overthinking is because like, you know, you've thought something through so much that by the time you get to it, now you've kind of fucked it up almost because you've already like overthought it and you're like in a different place now than everyone else would be. And I think that's hard. But, you know, it's funny because like I'll laugh sometimes like the arguments I have with people in my head and then I'll see them and that argument never happens. And I'm like, well, that went well in my head, but fuck off otherwise, you know, or it just doesn't need to. Yeah. I haven't done that one in a long time. I used to do it a lot more when I was younger. I think I'm tired now, so I just don't fucking care.
You think you're tired now?
I'll just fight that fight when I get there because I got to do this other shit.
Because I love to think on my feet.
So I think it's gotten better for that reason. I'm just like, fuck, I'll wait till there. I'll just do that later. You know? Yeah, fuck it. I think when we travel, I have a tendency to be more of an overthinker because the happiness of the people that travel with me really like weighs on me. And I'm like, okay, this has to be the most magical, perfect trip ever, you know? And so I'm like, I'll be like, okay, what if I forgot this? Or, you know, did I make sure we got this? And you should see like the amount of times like I will write down like an itinerary so that I make sure like, okay, I got the rental car, I got the hotels, I got the train ticket, I got this, I got that. And then I'll go back and ta-tink it several times. And then I'll print the itinerary out and bring it with me. Yeah, because it makes me feel better.
Wait, you didn't do that with me.
You didn't see it.
You had an itinerary?
I always have an itinerary. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
But we didn't have one. We were like, where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know.
Well, that part. I mean, I just like this time to this time will be dinner.
Okay. But remember when we were so tired, we were like, fuck this, let's go take a nap?
Oh, God. Yeah, because they've been like brain fucking us for like 3 days.
3 days at that point.
And we were the only assholes that went to fucking everything. And then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute.
But we don't have to.
We don't have to. And then also gave us the shittiest snacks on the fucking planet. I'm still angry about the shitty snacks.
Nothing to keep me
That was literally my review, the whole thing. Shitty snacks.
Shitty.
And they caught on though, because remember that last day, all of a sudden they had like.
Well, because they said that. They actually said that one of the complaints was
shitty snacks.
About snacks.
Yeah, because even like stuff that you thought would be good. I'm like, oh, they'll have crackers and hummus. And it was like fucking hummus that came out of the ass of like a snail.
Like, and I'm
like, that's gross.
Dirt. It was like just kind of like mud.
Yeah, they're like, we got this outside off the Potomac. You're welcome. Here's fucking dig that out of your face. I was like, and then the crackers were like.
Yeah, they're like, we've been here for 30 years.
Yeah, they're like, we've been waiting for you since Washington crossed the Potomac. So here you go with your shitty fucking crackers.
And your mud hummus.
Yeah, and the fucking dirt hummus. Fucking dicks. But I mean, it was a whole conference on brain gut health. And I said, fuck your brain gut health. I just want some fucking
I know, we were like eating
M&Ms.
Starbursts.
Yeah, we were like at the little convenience store in the hotel.
Yeah, I bet they were stoked.
Oh, I know.
Everybody was buying their food.
Yeah, because they had good snacks for $20. But still, I'd fucking pay $20 for an Almond Joy versus the fucking dirt hummus.
Here's my favorite. I think this is one of the highlights of that trip for me. And we're
Gonna die in an Uber?
oh damn, I forgot about that too. Yeah. But no, damn, I meant like physically at the conference.
Oh,
When we went to
oh fuck.
we went to learn about it was like that complimentary like lunch thing where you sat next to like a psychiatrist and
Yeah.
like they served everybody at the table and like I had turned to like have a piece of bread and I like put a little bit of butter on. Okay, they served us like a whole fucking plate of food. It
Like
was
a
like
huge piece of chicken.
huge piece of chicken, like these big fucking carrots and like something else on there. And
But the bread was shitty. The bread was gluten-free and it was terrible bread.
okay, I hadn't learned that yet because I was moving at a normal rate, and I fucking look over and you were like, ooh, and your entire fucking plate was empty, and
Yeah.
I was like.
You're like, did you eat all that?
I was like,
yeah.
did you drop your plate on the floor? And
Did you
were
give
like,
it to someone else?
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't. Where the fuck's your food? And you were like, I eat really fast when I get nervous.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, when I'm uncomfortable, the speed that is within me is exponential in anything I will do. I will pee very fast. I will eat very quickly. It's like anything I can do to get this the fuck over with faster. I will make
but
it happen.
that didn't.
In my mind, it
accelerate
did.
Okay.
In my mind,
Yeah,
I was
'cause
like, we can go.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's still 49 of the 50 minutes left, Rebecca.
Yeah. If that lady wouldn't have talked to me, I probably would have been fine.
I know, but we sat down and then
She was instantly on me.
Well, we sat down and she was like, oh, I'm a psychiatrist, and I was like, oop.
Yeah, as soon as she said it, I was like, fuck. Switch
You're
me
like,
seats.
I have to eat this entire chicken in 38 seconds.
Yeah, because then she wouldn't talk to me. And she didn't.
Yeah,
Also, because she was nervous probably that I ate so fast.
Well,
she was
like,
probably like,
she's going to eat me too.
yeah, she
And
was
you're
like, I should
yes.
scoot the fuck. She did. She started talking to somebody else. And I was like, see, if you eat really fast, you make other people uncomfortable. They'll leave you the fuck alone. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I was like,
Yeah, I do
Where-
remember you're like, where's your food? And I was like, I just ate it.
you were like, I was really nervous.
Also, yeah, I was hungry too, but I was very nervous. I fucking hate people. That's why people make me very uncomfortable.
I wish that I could have like a little GoPro camera and just like take you out in public, and then we should do that.
That would
And be
be
like,
pretty
this is Rebecca in her fucking in like her natural habitat.
Yeah, in my unnatural habitat.
yeah.
Ugh.
That was really good.
Yeah, I have a lot of those where I'm like, was that weird for everybody? And I'm like, probably. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I do eat very fast when I'm uncomfortable because it's the worst. Also, I just don't really particularly like eating in front of other people. Eating in front of other people to me is weird. I don't know. I fucking hate buffets. Hate them. Like top 3 things I dislike would be buffets.
What about like the hibachi kitchens where like you sit around that table?
I don't love
and they
that.
make
I
the
mean, I'll
thing?
do it, but I don't love it. Because then just like everyone's watching you very judgmentally. Like, how much chicken is that bitch going to eat? Did she
Fucking
get another
0
shrimp?
people are watching you
It
because they're
feels like
watching
they
the
are.
chef.
It feels like they're watching me. And like the buffet too. I'm like, if I go up for another round, how much are they going to talk about? How much I weigh?
Wow.
Yeah, that's literally. And I'm like scooping.
So you just overthink that then?
Yeah, fucking hate it. So that's why when we sat down, I was like, oh, I'm with a bunch of strangers. I don't fucking like this. And then she's like, hi, I'm Go Fuck Yourself. And I'm a psychiatrist. And what do you do? And I was like, I eat this chicken really fast. That's what I do.
I literally was like, oh, I'm going to nestle in and watch this. It was like fucking eating popcorn. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it only took 2 seconds before she was like, so it is.
She was like,
She was like, what the fuck? She has a tiny little mouth, but goddamn, you're welcome. Yeah, that's how I got my husband. But yeah, she very much did not enjoy
I did.
my abilities. Yeah, thank you. Well, now you know, like if we're in a situation, I will eat quickly and still make it out of wherever we are alive. Because fuck that. Yeah, that was uncomfortable. I knew the second she sat down too. I could feel her. That's the other thing. I could feel her energy the second she sat down, and I was like, oh, I hate this. I hate being here. It's like, I want to get the fuck
Best
out.
part though is this was your idea.
I know, that was the worst fucking part of the whole story. Is I was like, we should do this. I just wanted some food.
Okay,
I was just desperate for something that wasn't a fucking shitty hummus bread bowl.
it's true.
So that was part of it. And they got me with the chicken. And then she talked to me. And it was just downhill.
And then you ate the entire chicken.
Yeah. You should see the other day. This is another funny one for everybody. I was handing out flyers for our golf tournament. And wherever the fuck I went, I couldn't even tell you where it was. I was like, can I share this information with somebody who might give a fuck? And she's like, sure. She goes and gets this lady. And this lady walks out. And she's pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, you're making a tiny human. Good for you. And then I was like, I hope she really is pregnant, number one. And number two, what was the point? And she was like, thanks. And I was like, in this hot weather, it's like, really, you should get all the accolades. And I couldn't. I was like, here's the flyer. I got the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to call.
I don't think so.
Maybe. I mean, she should get accolades. It's hot as fuck, and you're making tiny humans. Also, thank God she really was pregnant and not fat, because that would have been, I would have had to move out of the country. I'd be living in fucking Costa Rica right now.
Somebody congratulated me when I was 4 months postpartum with Lila.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm going to starve myself now.
Yeah, thank God when she walked around, that was actually a baby. But still, I don't think it was necessary to have a whole conversation about her growing one. Whatever. It is what it is at this point, you know?
She's like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, and did I
you think
overthink
about
it?
that?
Oh, I still am. Right now. It pops in every now and then. I can picture her face. I'm like, whoever you were. Sorry about that. I'll think about it till I die. Yeah, I think about shit I did in like second grade. This is why when people are like, can we talk? I'm like, oh, let me go through the list. That's why I always tell people, like, my boss that I had before I started my own practice, she was the worst. And it's funny because you would think, being a mental health person, you would like know this, but she did not. She very much would always tell people like, hey, can you come in my office? I need to talk to you. And everybody would make everyone freak the fuck out. And I'm like, you can't say it like that. Like, I've literally made a list of all the wrongs I've done since I was born. So could you word it differently? So even now, like when I text my employees or if I have to like message them, I'm like, hey, I have a quick question. Nothing bad. Just want to know X, Y, and Z, you know, because I'm like, let me just preface this so you don't panic because I'm panicking for you. So just FYI on that one too, boss owners. Don't fucking, can you come into my office? Can I kill myself? That's where I'm going now because now I'm panicking.
I'm not coming in there.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I probably did do that. And I stole all the babies and did all the horrible things and I had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's rough. It's real fun. But you'll eat a whole chicken in case of an emergency. Yeah, eat that whole chicken.
God. Oh, it's good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
you know, I do what I can. Do what I can. All right.
We're due for an animal fact.
Are you ready?
I have been thinking about it since I woke up this morning after I saw your fucking text message at 6:40 or 38 this morning.
And I had been awake for quite a while,
That's
making
wild.
a list of all the things. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to remind you or tell you that I'm not dead. And then it was so funny because as the clock was getting closer, I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to be, and I was still late. And I was like, oh, I was 4 minutes past even the time I said, and that makes me angry. I did run that light over there, though, to clip off 30 seconds. So you're welcome.
Phew.
Yeah, good for that. Nobody else enjoyed it, though. Okay, I had to think this one through because I was like, I got so many. But today we will do the red panda.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is my husband's favorite animal. And we've been watching a lot of red panda videos the last few days, and it's been real fun. So here's what I know about a red panda, okay? So red pandas were the very first panda. They were the first ones discovered, and they are not pandas at all. They're not even close to a panda. Oh. Yeah. It was a French zoologist, I believe, that saw the very first one and was like, I don't know where the fuck he got the word panda from, but he's like, that's a red panda. Turns out they're not pandas at all. They are probably like closer in relation to koala bears and like weasels, like that kind of family. Not pandas at all. They have like zero fucking resemblance. They do have some interesting similarities to both bears and cats. So when they get pregnant and they're going to have their babies, they get their little pregnancy, and you should congratulate them for 5 minutes about it.
And make it worse as the moments go on.
Yeah, exactly. They make a little den, and they like get it all nice and like pretty and floofy.
So
and
they
all the
nest.
things. Yeah, they nest. And then they have their babies. And when they have their babies, they will carry them in their mouth just like cats do. And they bathe them just like cats. They will lick them clean. And they will hibernate. When it's really, really cold, they will hibernate just like bears. And like I think it's like 70% or 80% of their diet is bamboo, but it has like zero fucking nutrients. So they're like constantly in this like little deficit. So they will in turn eat more bamboo. And sometimes they will eat animals, like little tiny animals or bugs, but they will sleep for like 17 hours.
Oh, yeah, because they have no...
Yeah, they're like, fuck, I got nothing.
You're a red panda.
I know. I was like, I love that for them. They have an extra, like, thumb. It kind of, like, comes off of their wrist, and it helps them to climb. And the vast majority of their body is actually their tail. It's like 20% of their body is their tail. And when they are cold, they will wrap their tail and then like snuzzle into it like a little blankie. Snuzzle into it. Yeah. And they will sleep on their tail and it keeps them warm. And that's what I know. And when they're scared or when they want to like attack or look really fierce, they stand up on their hind legs and they like put their arms up and they look fucking adorable. Nothing about it looks terrifying. And I'm like, please fight me. Like, please fight me.
That's how you actually die.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like, ugh. And then it's like, I don't know what the fuck that is other than cute as fuck.
You're like, I think you want to hug is what I'm getting
like,
at.
Oh, let me get in there. And they make like kind of a little like quacky kind of sound. Like they kind of quack a little bit. They have like this cute little sound. You'll have to look it up. But that's the red panda for you. Not a panda at all. Little fuckers. Poor things. Yeah. Oh, there is one more thing I forgot. Oh, so the white on their face right here will cause it to like almost glow in the dark. So when they're in the dark, their babies can find them by the glow. And then this part right here that connects like from their eyes to their mouth, like reflects the sun to keep like the sun out of their eyes. Just like that. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. So yeah.
Well, thank God for red pandas.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Red quote unquote pandas.
Yeah, poor things. Yeah, poor babies. They need like a new name.
Yeah.
Yeah, red cute as fucks.
Okay.
That's
or
what it is.
Something else.
Maybe not that one, but you know, whatever. So
I feel good.
Okay, well, let's do our closing, which I don't have out in front of me. So may your healing journey fuck with everybody who deserves it. That isn't it, but I'm rolling with it today. Petty Lulia.
Petty Lulia.